Welcome back, my boys and girls. So today we got some Nintendo Switch stuff to talk about. Nintendo Switch has been hot lately. A lot of news, craziness. Projecting 20 million more units sold this year. Became the fastest selling console of all time in its short, less than 1 year lifespan. Which is pretty awesome stuff. So with those kind of numbers and all this craziness, you know there's going to be a lot of surprises coming up. This one is pretty big in my opinion because it could lead into a couple different things, and either way it leads into, I think, would be pretty awesome. And that is 1080 snowboarding. So 1080 was originally released on the Nintendo 64 way back in '98. Then I believe it was about 5 years later. Yeah, it was in 2003. 1080 Avalanche was released on the GameCube, which I like both of those games. They're really fun. I've revisited the Nintendo 64 version recently, and I really enjoy it. Going to be revisiting the GameCube one as well. Might stream it a little bit because that one was really fun as well. But Nintendo recently has trademarked 1080 in the European Union Trademark Bureau, whatever it's called, right? So this trademark date is dated December 18th, 2017. So just, a couple of weeks ago. Now, what could this lead to? This trademark was, put, there was an application put in then. The application is under examination like they normally do. Not really much going on. It's just a trademark for, 1080, and they did use the logo from the game in this filing. So I think that's pretty neat. But this could be one of two things, in my opinion, because there's no solid evidence that this is anything. But why trademark something if you're not doing anything with it? The one most obvious answer, well, I guess both answers could really be obvious, is that this could be the GameCube version on the Nintendo Switch, the Virtual Console, because there's been a lot of talk about GameCube games coming to the Nintendo Switch under the Virtual Console. Way back, and I have an article pulled up, there was some news a few months ago, back in October, that with the latest firmware at that time, the Switch supports GameCube controllers, right? Well, Nintendo said they were shocked. They didn't know, which kind of seems weird. How would you not know that your firmware now supports the GameCube adapter for the Nintendo Switch? So there's a lot of weird little things that just kind of make it obvious that, yeah, GameCube is going to be coming to the Virtual Console. So that is one big thing, big reason that I think this might just be 1080 Avalanche being ported over to the Virtual Console sometime this year, possibly, which would be really cool. But what would be even cooler than that? A full new game, obviously. So are we going to be getting a 1080 snowboarding Switch version? What would they call it? I don't know, but 1080 Extreme Switch Edition, who knows? If they do a whole new game, I think that would be sweet. I really wish they would revisit these games that have been dormant for a while. 1080 Wave Race, which is even bigger to me. I would much rather have a newer Wave Race. Big fan of Wave Race. Love the Nintendo 64 and the GameCube version. Don't really want to see those ported. I don't even want to see 1080 necessarily ported. But if they do, I'll be a sucker and I'll buy it just like a lot of other people will. But what I really want is a new game. If these guys drop 1080 snowboarding, a new version, drop a new Wave Race, oh man, it'll be heaven for me with the Nintendo Switch, which it already is. A lot of awesome games for the Switch. But that's where we're at. Trademark, take it for what it's worth, but obviously they are going to be doing something with 1080. Is it just Virtual Console stuff? Is it related to Nintendo 64 mini news? Or, I doubt that. Is it Nintendo 64 on the Switch? More than likely, I think it would be GameCube. Like, with the Wii and Wii U, we had a lot of Nintendo 64. It's time to be getting that ball rolling with the GameCube stuff. So I definitely think this is at least going to be GameCube related or a brand new game. So take that for what it's worth. Drop comment down below. What do you think it is? What are you hoping it is? But the next little bit of news is pretty interesting, and it comes from this Reddit user, Das Vergeben. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly, but Das Vergeben. So he's a Reddit user, a leaker of video game news. And people are saying that he's been, spot on with a few things. So sometimes people get lucky with their predictions. Sometimes, they misrepresent leaks as, legit. Sometimes they're just guessing. I don't really follow particular people on those things, but some people have a good track record. And from what I understand, this individual has a pretty decent track record with leaking information. So from what I'm seeing, there is a leaked list of Nintendo Direct broadcast game lists. And one of the games that's supposedly going to be on there is Grand Theft Auto 5 for the Nintendo Switch. He's also stating that a port of Red Dead Redemption would come to the Nintendo Switch as well. And that sounds pretty interesting, but all the information that I'm gathering from looking into that is that game would be such a pain in the ass to port to the Nintendo Switch that it most likely won't happen. There's a lot of Red Dead Redemption fans out there, and that would definitely be awesome news, but just from reading and digging into it a little more, the technical difficulties behind it may be a little too much to be worthwhile to port it. But who knows? I mean, I think the bigger news would be Grand Theft Auto 5, obviously. So, like I stated in previous videos about the Nintendo Switch, talking about, third-party developers and whatnot, I really think a lot of these guys, Rockstar, Bethesda, they're testing the waters. They're sticking their feet in a little bit, getting their toes a little wet and cold, see what to do. So, Rockstar, they put out LA Noire, which, is a pretty big hit game. I passed up on it. I've never played it. It just, the aesthetic and whatnot just didn't hit it for me, so I passed on it. But hey, there's a lot of people who love it, and I can't knock them for it just because I don't like, I probably would like the game. I just never gave it a shot. But just because looking at it, I decided, I don't want to mess with it. Doesn't mean that it's not a good game. Just means I didn't want to bother with it. But I think with them releasing that's kind of testing the waters, just like Bethesda with Doom and dropping Skyrim and whatnot. I think it's the same thing here. Grand Theft Auto 5 has been out for a long while, but it's a big hit. Some of the biggest YouTube channels still, Let's Players anyway, they play Grand Theft Auto 5. They play online. They're doing all that crazy stuff. Even my kids have never played the game, but they're aware of it. It's kind of crazy. Like, everybody knows Grand Theft Auto 5. Been around for a while, been on multiple systems, and it's a game that definitely will sell like crazy on the Nintendo Switch, in my opinion. It could lead to other things. Is it cool to just keep getting ports and ports and ports like a lot of these companies are doing? Yes and no. But like I said, I think they're testing the waters a little bit. But with these crazy ass numbers of sales that we're getting with this system, I think it's time to say, hey, no more testing the waters. You guys know what's up. Start, doing those multi-platform, releases, put them on the Switch at the same time, do some exclusives, whatever you want. I don't really, exclusives, I don't really care. I get my exclusives from Nintendo. But if you're releasing a new Call of Duty, a new Grand Theft Auto, a new Assassin's Creed, I'm seeing that they're going to be released on the Nintendo Switch at or around the same time as the other consoles. Yeah, they'll be gimped a little bit. They're going to have to be. The Switch is not as powerful of a console as PS4 and Xbox, especially with the revisions, the Pro and the Xbox One X and all that kind of stuff. But if the money is there, it would make sense to do that dual development and drop these games on the Switch. I don't want to see the Switch just be nonstop ports of games that are 10 plus years old, 5 years old. I mean, that's fine to sprinkle in a little bit here and there, but I know a high profile game like Grand Theft Auto 5 will be a huge hit. But I'm hoping it's another thing like, let's see how this goes. When Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, we're going to drop it on the Switch as well. I'm just hoping the Nintendo Switch just doesn't stay behind the times with all these ports. It's kind of, it's a plus and a negative at the same time. It's kind of, that's the way I feel about it anyway. But I think it would be pretty sweet to get this on the Switch. Like the sucker I am, and like a lot of other people out there, I'll probably buy it. Like Skyrim, for example, dropped on the Switch. I bought it, and I'd previously bought it probably like 3 or 4 times. These companies, they put out Game of the Year editions, Extreme editions, all DLC combined editions, limited, whatever. They're doing multiple editions, high def edition, from the PS3 to the PS4, 360 to the Xbox One. it's nonstop. It's just going to continue happening because we keep buying these games. But if they're high quality games that people want to continue playing, I guess I see no issue with that. I just want to see the support continue to blow up and to get, you know, newer things. Like I said, not these old ports. Grand Theft Auto 5 might be the little exception to that. But it's still going to be pretty sweet. It's sweet to see that and to know that it's an extreme possibility. I really think Rockstar's going to be dropping that on the Nintendo Switch. But what does that lead to? That's what I care about. I don't care about Grand Theft Auto 5 coming to the Switch. I care about that it is, but I care about what will happen because of that. What more, you know, games will we get? What impact will that have as far as sales goes, as far as interest in developing for the system? It all boils down to money. If you're going to make money on the system because it's selling like crazy, like it is right now, you're going to develop games for it. But some of these companies are going to take that lazy route and only do ports. And I'm hoping that the consumers say, hey, we want more. So that's my little rant. That's my little thoughts on this. Take it for what it's worth. How do you guys feel? Do you think Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming? Do you think Red Dead Redemption is coming to the Nintendo Switch, even though it's a little doubtful? 1080 snowboarding, which is really crazy for me. I'm really hoping that leads to a wave race anyway. But what do you guys think? Drop a comment down below. Let me know. If you hate the Nintendo Switch, hey, it is what it is. But, you know, Nintendo Switch is what's hot right now. So that's what we're talking about. And I'm loving it just like a lot of you guys are. So smash that like button if you could. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, do all that crazy, wonderful stuff. If you want to support my channel, just $1 a month on Patreon or $5 a month, whatever you can do, enters you into some awesome giveaways every month. We've done a few of them so far. Every month we're going to be doing a giveaway. This month, for the month of January, active subscribers, active patrons, will be entered in to win a Nintendo Switch, the Neon Joy-Con bundle. So look forward to that. I got a couple other giveaways that are going to be patron exclusive giveaways that I'm going to announce shortly. So keep an eye out for that. Appreciate it, guys. Catch you next time, and boom. Peace out. Thank you.